So I think it's appropriate that I finish, or should I say this at the end of my training session as, I'm sweating bullets in this humidity. But what I wanted to talk about today, we kind of just got done with the new Vigor ground site, and something that's taken me for a really long time, actually years, to develop and get clear on is my values and our values. And that's what I wanted the discussion to be around, because values are something that people always say, well, how do I determine my values? And it's like the things that you stand up for, the things that you believe in so much that you die for, the things that you stand against. And many times it could be, character traits of somebody that you look up to. So if you think about, if I ask you like, hey, who's a role model to you? I love to say collecting role models. So who's a role model to you? And it might be in different areas. Maybe it's in sport. It might be Jordan because of his commitment and dedication to excellence, or whatever it may be. It might be Richard Branson in philanthropy and service, being a servant leader, right? And I'm just giving examples, but those are some ways that I developed mine over the years, like looking at people that I want to embody and be like and say, hey, what are these character traits, these values that these people represent? And I'm gonna share some of ours in not necessarily any particular order, but what's so important is that like when this camera is off me, right? Like when nobody's watching, when, like I said, the audio's turned off or whatever, like you live a certain way. There's certain behaviors that you have, and you have to ask yourself if those behaviors match the person that you want to become. Do they match the values that you represent as a person, as a business? And some of ours at Vigor are, teamwork. And for every value, we have a tagline. For teamwork, it's rise as one, right? We rise together or we fall apart as individuals. And from basketball, I always loved this, like you play for the name on the front of the jersey and not the back, right? You play for the team, you don't play for yourself. Now at the same time, you have to develop yourself individually to be the best possible so that you can give your best to the team. Now the team may be a team at work, it may be an actual sports team, it might be your family and your friends and your social circles, it might be the team of something, an organization that you represent. But the thing is, if you say, I would say teamwork is my value and rise as one is my motto, how are you living that every single day? Service. Last year's Vigor Ground Summit, being a servant leader, leaving it better than you found it. Do you leave every interaction with a person? Do you leave them a little bit better than you found them? Do you leave a place better than you found it? And you have to, once again, do you embody those traits? That doesn't mean that you're perfect. I certainly don't live these 100% of the time, but that's my North Star. Right? I live them most of the time, and it's a guiding light for like how I want to be, what I want to behave like. We have excellence, right? We give our best and we expect the best from others. But you can only expect the best from others when you give your best. Once again, great tagline. Are you living it? Growth, getting 1% better every day, right? I love the small increment part of that, where you tell people like, hey, you're not gonna grow overnight. I love this, it's a rule it's called 7 Lessons of the Japanese Forest. And one of them is like, be like bamboo. And one of the lessons of the Japanese forest is that bamboo is always growing. Sometimes it grows faster, sometimes it grows slower, but it's always growing, right? And that's your goal, growth 1% every day. Say sometimes be a little bit more, but sometimes it'll be a little bit less, but always be growing. Inclusiveness, something that's so important, always, but right now in the conversation in the world, like we kind of took this, tagline from Nike, until we all win. Inclusiveness means equality. It means treating everyone equally, right? And you have to make a stand for that. It can't be a word, it can't be a share, it can't be a meme. It can't be like, I support, I would say, voicing your opinion and sharing the platform to share a message that's powerful. But we gotta make sure that we represent that we live it every single day. Okay, that's what that means. And that's what you have to look at as an individual first. Am I living these things? Not just am I shouting them out, but am I living them first? Fun. It's one of the things here at Vigor is like, hey, we take coaching very seriously, but we don't take ourselves seriously, because you know what? There's gotta be fun. People wanna come back to things that are also fun, right? That make them smile. Same thing with friends. Hey, if you're always serious, you don't be around your friends all the time if they're always serious. You wanna crack jokes, you wanna laugh till you cry. My friend Jay Ferrugia I would say we usually laugh till we cry, right? So that's fun, that's part of the values, at least of ours. Love and hard work, heart and hustle. My friend Greg Milley has a company, a gym called Heart and Hustle. And like heart meaning like, man, are you doing it with purpose and passion? Because it's much harder to get tired. It's much easier to work longer hours when you love something, right? But without hard work, nothing happens, right? But if you combine those two, amazing things happen. That's a value. Communication. We communicate clearly. We talk about the good and the bad. Another point in time where, like I said, hey, just talking about good stuff, but what about the crucial conversations? That's where the magic happens. That's where things move forward. The uncomfortable conversations that have to happen every day between, same thing, family members, between teammates, right? Between people at work. And once again, like this is something I strive to because I'm not doing it 100% of the time, but I do my best and I strive to. I have a guiding light. I know what I'm shooting for. Respect, right? It's a two-way street. You got to give it to get it. A lot of people wait to get it before they give it. It's not how it works. You give respect first. That's the value. Loyalty. Even though down here it's one of those things that comes last as an 11, that doesn't matter because to me, like this tagline means so much. The strength of a family, like the strength of an army, is in its loyalty to each other. And like when you have loyalty to each other, you can do unbelievable, amazing things, right? That's also why I have tattoos all over my body saying loyalty. And also the reason why the time in my life where I would say I disliked myself the most was when I was disloyal, right? It's why it aggravates me because I know that I've been disloyal as well. But these are guiding principles now. I don't want to ever be that again. And the last one, which we actually put as first, is commitment. And the tagline for that's all in. To me, you're either all in or you're not, right? There is no kind of in between necessarily when you believe in something and you're driven towards a cause. And while I wanted to share these values that represent Vigor Ground, I really wanted to, bring out to light that these only matter as much as we live them. And if you scratched them, if they weren't written down on a piece of paper on the walls of a gym or in your employee handbook or on your website because it looks cool, and nobody read those, people will see them. People will see you either living them or not living them, or they're going to see you live something else. And in this time and every time in our lives, but more so now than ever, we have to make sure that we ask ourselves daily, did I fill in the blank, right? Did I enact the behavior of this value? Right? Did I enact the behavior of this tagline? Are my behaviors matching my values? In fitness, we say, are your behavior, in fitness and nutrition, we say, are your behaviors matching your goals when it comes to fitness and nutrition? And I'll ask you, are your behaviors matching your character and your values? And that might be the most important question you ask yourself every single day. And make sure that you have a guiding light, a compass that leads you into the direction of who you want to become.